Hello and welcome to this video lesson on the order of operations. Let's begin by reviewing our learning and language goals. Our learning goal is I can evaluate numerical expressions involving operations in parentheses and powers according to the order of operations. And our language goals are I can talk about operations using words like parentheses, brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, operation, and order of operations. And I can understand and use the acronym PEDMAS or BEDMAS. Before we get into all of that, though, why is Captain Picard so excited? Well, it turns out Captain Picard won a big prize on Roll Up the Rim. But in order to claim this big prize, he has to answer a skill testing question, and that's where we come in. Here's the question. 9 plus 3 times 6 minus 4 equals? Captain Picard has asked us to find the answer in as many ways as we can. So let's do that right now. What are some of the ways to answer this question? Well, the first most straightforward one is to go in a straight line from left to right. So let's try that now. 9 plus 3 times 6 minus 4. We'll start with 9 plus 3. That gives us 12. Next, we're going to do 12 times 6. That gives us 72. And then finally, we subtract 4. 72 minus 4 equals 68. So 68 is our answer, right? Well, Captain Picard did specifically ask us to figure it out in as many ways as we possibly can. And when I got looking at it a little more closely, something else did occur to me. Let me explain it to you now. When we look at this big equation, 9 plus 3 times 6 minus 4, it kind of looks like there are two pairs of expressions that are multiplied together. So I wondered, what if we simplify those two expressions and then multiply the results of that together? So it would work a little bit like this. 9 plus 3 is one expression. We can simplify that and then multiply it by this simplified version of 6 minus 4. Let's see how that works out. If we start on the left, we have 9 plus 3. That gives us 12. Now let's simplify the other expression. 6 minus 4 gives us 2. And then we can take those two results together and multiply them, which is the final step. 12 times 2 makes 24. But we have 68 and we have 24. Which answer should we give to Captain Picard? It turns out that it doesn't matter which answer we gave Captain Picard because both 68 and 24 are wrong. The right answer is actually 23. Poor Captain Picard. Now he can't claim his big prize. Well, better luck next time, I guess. But wait, it is still important for us to understand how to get the right answer. So let's start with this question. How can we rewrite the question so that the only possible answer is 23? Then we'll understand how to do it correctly. So let's take a closer look. If we change the order in which we perform the operations so that we do the multiplication first, we get 23. Let's do it together. I moved the expression 3 times 6 to the beginning of the equation, but I kept the rest of the expressions and operations in the order they were in. So now we have 3 times 6 plus 9 minus 4. 3 times 6 gives us 18. The next step is to add 9. 18 plus 9 equals 27. And the next step is to subtract 4. Now, do you see where this is going? 27 minus 4 gives us 23. And that's the prize-winning answer. You see, it turns out that when you solve a problem that uses more than one kind of operation, the answer depends on the order in which you do the operations. Pay close attention to this, okay? That means that you will get different answers depending on the order in which you perform different operations in an equation that has different kinds of operations, like, say, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, like the question we tried to solve for Captain Picard. Let's look at an example together. Here we're asked to evaluate the expression 3 plus 6 times 4. Now, pause for a second and remember that an expression is just a mathematical statement with numbers and operations. And when we calculate the answer to an expression, we are evaluating the expression, or we also say simplifying the expression. Now, if we add first, we have 3 plus 6, which makes 9, and then 9 times 4, which gives us 36. But if we multiply first, we have 6 times 4, which makes 24. Then we do the addition, which is 3 plus 24, which gives us the answer 27. 36 and 27 are pretty far apart. I think it's so wild how you can get two very different answers to the same equation, isn't it? All right. Of course, this is not okay to be able to get two different answers to the same equation. So to avoid this problem, mathematics has a rule that multiplication must come before addition. So remember that rule. So 3 plus 6 times 4 equals 3 plus 24, which gives us 27. So the second method, the answer 27, is the correct one. So that's it. That's the order of operations. Did we just achieve our learning goal in record time? Well, partly, yes, but there's a bit more to it. First of all, there's more operations than just multiplication and addition, right? Like what about division and subtraction? And of course, there's a few other little things thrown in there to make it a little bit more tricky before we can say that we've mastered the order of operations. Let's go see what they are. The first one is brackets or parentheses. We use brackets if we want certain operations carried out first, but we aren't able to rearrange the whole equation. Okay, got that? Do operations in brackets or parentheses first, then multiplication, then addition. That's it. Well, hang on a second. There's a few other operations that we use that we haven't covered here. For example, what about division and subtraction? Or for that matter, what about exponents? Well, to make sure that everyone gets the same answer when evaluating an expression, we use this specific order of operations. Do the operations in brackets or parentheses first. Next, evaluate any exponents. Then do division and multiplication in order from left to right. And finally, do addition and subtraction in order from left to right. It sounds straightforward, but let's practice a few examples to be sure we've got it. Let's evaluate the expression 16 minus 4 divided by 2. Take a moment to think, which operation are you going to do first? Well, we have to do division first, then subtraction. So 14 divided by 2 is 7, then 16 minus 7 gives us 9. Our next expression to evaluate is 18 minus 10 plus 6. Now, these ones I can do in order from left to right since it's just addition and subtraction. So let's see, 18 minus 10 gives me 8, then I add 6 to get 14. One last practice expression for good measure. This time we have some brackets. Now remember that I need to do the operation in brackets first, so I'll add 4 plus 8, which gives me 12. Next, I have to do the multiplication. 7 times 12 is 84. Done. It's actually not that hard once you memorize the order, so let's learn a handy rule that'll help us remember. Right, so the order of operations starts with brackets and exponents. Wait, what? What are exponents? Well, we haven't worked with exponents yet, and it's not a concept we focus on in grade 6, but you're probably already a little bit familiar with exponents from measurement. Now, I made a short video explaining exponents that you can watch after this if you like, but it's not mandatory. Okay, back to our rule. The order of operations is brackets, exponents, then division and multiplication in order from left to right, and finally, addition and subtraction in order from left to right. And to help us remember all this, we use the acronym BEDMAS: brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Easy. For practice with the order of operations, you are allowed to use your calculator, but it's important to know that some calculators follow the order of operations and others don't. Obviously, it's important for you to know whether yours does or not. If it doesn't, you'll need to pay close attention to the order of operations as you work through problems and make sure you enter them in your calculator in the right order. But if your calculator is programmed to follow the order of operations, you don't have to worry, and that can save you a few steps. So, how can you tell if your calculator follows the order of operations? Well, you're going to figure that out for me right now. Go and grab your calculator and then come right back. Okay, do you have your calculator? Good. Now, enter this into your calculator in this exact order. 9 plus 6 times 3 equals. Now, you should be able to tell from your answer if your calculator follows the order of operations. Try it out right now and answer the next 2 questions in the Edpuzzle. Psst, the right answer is 27. If your calculator gave you the answer 27, it follows the order of operations. But if you got 45, your calculator does not follow the order of operations. Bye.